That is one shiny forehead syndrome. I apologize for the face. I was born with it. LOL. Fine. I deserve that. But yeah, you know, my mother liked it. India is the country that will do justice to the pronunciation for your last name, Mr. Rivera. Actually, no. I was being called Mr. Rivera, not Rivera. Jaime sounds like one of those toys that's low on battery. But you know what? I keep going and going and...
That's what she said!
That sounded weird. I'm very impressed by your ability to post a video every single day regardless of anything. Dude, I guess I'm more impressed. Trust me, we don't know how we pull it off because it's a lot of work. That's right, it's that time of the week. I am Jaime Rivera. This is Pocketnow, and this is the Pocketnow Daily Recap, your comments for this week. So Monday, the topic was Huawei. There are some rumors that there are two 40-megapixel cameras coming on the Mate 30 Pro. One of them wide angle, the other the standard. I asked you, what would you think about a phone with two 40-megapixel cameras? We had 482 comments. Now we just need to combine Google's camera software and Huawei's camera hardware. Yes, I think that would be the perfect combo, but then again, Huawei's camera software is not far off. You need to they do need to fix the video portion particularly. That's one thing that I hope the Mate 30 Pro fixes, but given the fact that the P30 Pro is already out and it didn't include that, I'm not sure. If both 40-megapixel cameras can actually use and process their images well, then I don't see why not. That's one thing that I've actually come to trust Huawei on. You know, they've come with this whole partnership with Leica. I actually trust Leica more, I guess is the thing to say, because other Huawei phones that don't have the tuning don't necessarily behave the same. I feel that won't be a problem, but obviously we'll have to see the product. Honestly, more than throwing 40 megapixels at everything but in small sensors, I'd rather Huawei go for an old Nokia approach with a 40 megapixel bigger sensor. The ultra-wide with 40 megapixels will probably just output 10 megapixels bin images, and I'd rather keep the high resolution they have now. Thing about it is, if you've noticed the specifications, you dig really deep, the Huawei sensor is not the same 42 megapixel sensor that all other companies are using. That's actually 42 or 48. Yeah, I think it's 48. But the thing about it is, it's a different sensor actually. It's the highest quality sensor that Sony produces, even if Sony doesn't mention that it's theirs, and Huawei doesn't mention that it's a Sony sensor. So this sensor is actually larger, not significantly larger than the others, but it is larger. It doesn't give you 0.8 microns, for example. So we'll see, you know, we'll see. Today we're counting screen to body ratio. Tomorrow we'll be counting camera to body ratio. Oh my God, yes. But unless we figure out another way to add more lenses and to add more versatility to a smartphone, I don't know how else to do it, because I'll give you an example. I was in the Taj Mahal the other day, and it came to the point where I stopped using my Panasonic, period. And the main reason why was because it was just so slow for me to adapt the camera, do manual controls, do I have the right lens, when all I had to do was pull out my phone, choose the composition that I wanted, and that was it. And that's something that real cameras don't provide. So I feel that adding more cameras is actually a good solution. Then on Tuesday, the topic was benchmarks. The Galaxy Note 10 apparently passed through some benchmarks. It apparently wasn't performing as well as even the iPhone 10. That was getting us worried. I asked you what you thought about that. We had 484 comments. Benchmark is the last thing I'd worry about in my phone. It's already fast enough. I'd worry about features that I'm gonna use on the get-go. Obviously, benchmarks are important because you get more or less an idea of what to expect, but truly, certain companies don't do a good job with their software, so it's pointless to have a large engine. If you solely judge a device's performance based on benchmark tests, in 2019 there's a problem, especially when OEMs in the past have been caught cheating on them. Yes, indeed, we have seen so many cases of companies being able to cheat benchmarks. I do agree with you. My Galaxy Note 9 makes me happy, and I didn't consider benchmarks when I bought it. I can't remember the last time that I actually considered benchmarks, but spending some time here in India, it was incredible how much people value benchmarks, and I understand. People here want to maximize bang for their buck. It's not that they don't want to buy expensive phones, it's just the question is, are you really getting that much more money in a product? And so I do understand why they care. I'm actually considering adding some of that to our videos, given the relevance that it is and the fact that, the India audience for us is extremely important. Even if the benchmarks are real, we have seen in the past that benchmarks don't necessarily translate to the real-world performance, with other factors such as RAM management playing a role. Yes, indeed. In the case of smartphones, it's so much more than the engine. It's how light the chassis is, meaning the software, meaning absolutely everything. So I feel that this is just a little reference into what to expect. Then on Wednesday, we continued getting more worried news about the Galaxy Note 10, particularly because now we also hear that in addition to not getting necessarily the same benchmarks, apparently it's getting a full HD display, not Quad HD. And I'm like, whoa, even the Galaxy S10 has a Quad HD display. Obviously the S10e doesn't, but that midpoint device does. I asked you what you thought about that. We had 652 comments. If you can give Quad HD display to a $750 phone, S8 and S9, there would be no excuse if you don't give a Quad HD display to a $1,000 phone. Do totally agree. Then again, Samsung, I feel, will be a little more aggressive with this Note. I'm hoping. The rumors are that they won't. This is just the personal prediction. I think that that's the smartest thing to do, but obviously we will have to confirm once we're at Unpacked. For $999, it should have a Quad HD display. Exactly, I feel that, I mean, come on, man. For that price, there should be no excuse. I don't know what Samsung is gonna do, but obviously we'll keep you posted. Phone manufacturers got too greedy and now they're having to deal with the consequences. I'm glad consumers are waking up. I am glad too if you've noticed the numbers for Samsung are not doing well when it comes to the sale of high-end phones. So it just proves that consumers obviously are not just going to cough up money because they want the brand. I don't think it works that way with phones. You could get that with a car where you can use that car for 5 years, but that's not the case with a phone. So I don't know. I hope the Note 10 fails so they can start bringing the prices down. I don't hope that any product phrase, but the reason I included your comment is because I know that people do feel that way. And it might just be that it will if it's priced too aggressively and it doesn't provide the specs that it deserves. Then on Thursday, we had a controversial topic, iPhone 11 with Apple Pencil. The rumors are that we might be getting this. Obviously, Steve Jobs would be rolling in his grave because he made fun of the whole concept of having a stylus. But in this case, this is not a stylus for interaction, which is what Steve Jobs complained about. I asked you what you thought about this. We had 608 comments. Samsung's losing their headphone jacks and iPhone supporting stylus. Could anyone just make this madness stop? I don't think it's madness. I think that it's not necessarily a bad idea in the case of the Apple Pencil. Truly, about the headphone jack, my God, man, Samsung, you've got no excuse, man. Apple Pencil. Guess the Apple team has reached the bottom of the barrel in terms of ideas. Can't wait for the color variants to come next. I think that that would be a better idea to bring us more color options, but truly, I think that the Apple Pencil should be supported across the board, at least in the Max variant. I mean, why not? But then again, it's not necessarily the best idea given the design of the Apple Pencil. Apple makes an iPhone Note lineup. Pencil costs $299 and it's sold separately. Oh man, can you imagine that? No, we already know what the Apple Pencil costs, but obviously I understand that you're talking about the stand for the Mac Pro. Carrying a 7-inch pencil to use on a 6-inch phone. I see a new fashion statement here. That's one thing. I would totally not mind carrying the pencil separately so long as I could also use it as a pen, meaning replaceable tips or some sort of solution like that. I think that that would be the way to go, even if they charge me a little money for that, but that would be me. And then finally on Friday, we had the Amazon and Apple topic. Obviously, we've seen a ton of deals from both companies, but now it's under investigation because apparently they consider this to be price fixing, which is illegal in the United States. The smaller retailers are complaining, and so this is being investigated. Ask you, what do you think? Should we pay more, or how should this investigation go? We had 549 comments. It's illegal in Europe. Cartels and price fixing are illegal. I get it. I don't know. Think about it from the point of the consumer. Amazon is just being aggressive about pricing in the way they're best, which is literally if a product doesn't sell for a certain particular time, I'm not going to be holding it in inventory. I'd rather sell it at cost. That's what Amazon does. We learned that in Business 101. It's price fixing. If Amazon win, they will kill everybody else. Then they have control. That's not good for the market. No, that's not necessarily the case. If you think about it, Amazon is a retailer, so is Best Buy, so is Target, and you can buy Apple products in all of these. So in the end, it's not truly price fixing because Amazon has just got a specific different concept where different retailers can sell within the same store. But then again, if the company's being more aggressive about pricing, it just forces other retailers to do the same. Jaime, official news begins with deals for MacBooks. Amazon, we have a deal, but they're illegal. Apple, let's meet in court. No, this is not something between Apple and Amazon. It's actually, the Trade Commission and, consumers. Well, companies that are being affected. Small Apple authorized retailers be like, you gotta fight, da-da-da, for your right, da-da. There's an extra da there. To sell Apple. Oh my God. That sounded terrible. I apologize. I don't have a voice. And I know you guys hate it when I complain. But then again, I love that song. Fine, I get the pun. But then again, you understand what I mean when it comes to this from a business approach. It's not a bad thing for consumers to get better pricing, so I feel that we shouldn't confuse things, but this is my opinion. That's it for the Pocketnow Daily Recap. Thank you so much for watching. If you want your comments to be featured, keep them short, stick to the point, and try to get some thumbs up. It helps us spot them a lot easier. Also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram. Here are my personal handles as well, in case you want to follow me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.